Everybody's got a hobby, Rob. So, well, lots and lots and lots of interesting things going on here. And I want to kind of join these dots up. So, Kings of War is going to be 10 years old in September. And it was super exciting to see today that we'd increased the attendance at the Clash of Kings by nearly 300%. 20 past year. It's a wonderfully vibrant scene, and I think with all these things, you know, when you hear how old companies are, and you go, well, they're quite new, 28 years old. Overnight success only took 10 years. And I'm sure you're seeing it. You're seeing it with Hellboy, I hope, but you're seeing it throughout the range. The quality of everything we're doing is getting better and better. That's largely because they let me nowhere near anything important. But Rob, Matt, all the guys in the studio, you know, we're now working with Angar and Elders to get our painting done. You know, there's just so much. The Giant has just come out. I do feel like we're right on the brink, you know, of the next phase, where we move out of the people who've made a kind of choice to join, who've either left GW because they've been disappointed or they were looking for something different. And that's you people. You've sought us out. You've found us when we're not easy to find. And you've liked what we're about. And that's really important to us. And you guys are our advocates. But then at some point, something tips and people just start joining. And it just starts growing. And I think one of the problems we've had is we have so many great game systems, we get excited about them all, so we can't just keep hitting one. But it does mean that when people kind of discover Mantic, they keep peeling layers off the onion, and it's exciting and fascinating and good fun. So I'm really hoping that with some of the things we've got planned, Vanguard, I'll let Rob talk about the releases, but Vanguard is recruiting into the Kings of War world. It's an easy buy-in for people because painting 200 figures is hard. And I have to say I'm wonderfully impressed with everyone at Adepticon this year at Clash of Kings, who turned up with Mantic armies. After the Masters, I was ready to jump off a bridge. The game was 3-4 years old. I couldn't see a Mantic model in the house. I was like, oh, I didn't bother. I've come in here and almost like 60–80% of the armies are full or mostly Mantic. It's just fantastic. It's really great to see that people made that effort because they're doing that transition and they're coming over. So, why don't you talk everyone through the next few months with the releases of Vanguard? Yep. And then I'll roll us into all the things we're doing about the IP building.
Yeah, sure. So we pretty much from April we've got 4 months worth of Vanguard and Kings of War content. So starting with a Forces of Nature warband, then moving into the Goblins. Yeah! Brilliant. So the Goblins is a full faction release, all new models like the Wing It, the Lug It, the Bang It. I think they're absolutely brilliant. They're kind of.
Has everyone seen those? Has anyone had a chance to go by the stand? Yes. If not, come down. I think you'll be amazed. Yeah.
They are, without doubt, the greatest goblins I've ever seen.
You know, good goblins.
And I know, yes. And we work really hard on those to make sure they're obviously in the rule book. You get the kind of starter list. You know, these are going to be massively expanded to make them even more goblin-y and ridiculous and kind of explosive. So we've got those. Then in June, we've got some time off. And then July, we've got Trident Realm. So Trident Realm, that's a bit like the Force of Nature. So we've got kind of packaging up some of the existing sculpts along with the brand new Dam Buster. So that's that big frog on frog action downstairs. So that's an awesome kind of big resin piece as well. So that one's in July, and then August we've got Undead coming out, and then again a bit like the Goblins, that'll be a big release, lots of new models. We've got some really disgusting stuff for those guys actually. May or may not have some previews on here. So I think the idea is we want to keep adding with new factions, so going through things like the Goblins, the Undead, picking out ones where we want to do full faction releases, and we've got plenty more of those planned as we keep on going along. And then also do kind of almost mini releases where we package up some of the awesome models we've already got and kind of make them more kind of Vanguard friendly, I guess.
Yeah.
And then this summer we've also got a supplement which is called Ice and Iron, which is about the Abyssal Dwarfs kind of attacking the Northern Alliance. Because no one's really sure what the Northern Alliance are protecting. They've got something secret. No one's quite sure what this is. So this starts that kind of story arc within Kings of War about what's going on in the north, what are they protecting, what have they found, and is it good or bad? So the Abyssal Dwarfs kind of a bit beaten up after Eye of the Abyss, the campaign, so they're kind of wanting to find out, get some more power and kind of come back strong. So that'll be really exciting. That'll have new campaign rules in, some new units as well, so a bit like we did with Outbreak, Dead Zone, Vanguard's going to be similar to that. Ice and Iron's going to be similar to that. But we're absolutely, Vanguard is totally the way into fantasy for us. It's a great entry, 10 to 15 models. You're immediately in there, you're finding out more about our world, who are the Trident Realm, what are our goblins like, what are our orcs like, and then your next jumping off point is obviously Kings of War. So it's a real great feature into our fantasy world and getting more people playing Kings of War as well.
So we're on the third print of the Vanguard book. So it's really gone out there. And I still don't think there's a lot of coverage. Certainly in the US, it's just hard to find. And I've been going into stores, there's just a big wodge of it, and it's vanished again. So hopefully if we could just find a decent salesman here in the US, we can phone up to all those stores, call them and get them to take lines like Vanguard, have an easy buy-in, my life would come much easier and then I wouldn't have to berate them in public and tease them and things like that.
I got it, it's okay.
Okay, nice. And people say Americans don't get sarcasm. Come on. So so we've got a guy who's going to be out there calling up the stores. And just to take what Rob said, there's two types of factions in Vanguard now. There's the ones that are Mantic, Northern Alliance, Abyssals, Basileans, and then there's the ones that we find are the obvious stepping off points, because people know what a dwarf is, a goblin is, and an undead is. Everything in our factions are kind of cool and new. When we did the Northern Alliance, the Ice Fang and the Snow Troll and all those things, great sculpts, great rules. If you're into that, you go straight away. When you come to the old tropes, the goblins, the dwarfs, the undead, you've got to do something spectacular. It's our chance to really show off and move on what undead means in the world of Mantic. And from day one, our undead looked like an army. They didn't look like a dead army, they looked like an army that had been killed and then raised. So they had that theme. So we always had that IP teased in there. And Vanguard is a great opportunity like Dead Zone was and Dreadball was, in a relatively small scope to tell some more stories. And when you see things like goblins firing war beasts out of a mortar and then they land, run off and start biting things, you're starting to get some of that Mantic's going to be about in the next phase. And it's wonderful for us. And we've got some why are the cards for everything out? You said, there's this game at 2 levels. The stuff that's in the book, it's about balance. Everyone has 5 or 6 units and you can play. And then we're going to go back to each faction and do wonderful, beautiful things. Like ogres in full plainmail armor. Like goblins with,
more big bats.
Big bat.
Yeah.
Cool, lots of cool things. And that's what's joyous about Vanguard, is we can just keep pushing on the boundaries, telling stories and building up the IP.
It takes months and months to come up with these new, the goblins in particular, because that's a big release with lots of different units. It takes months to kind of obviously originally come up with the ideas for what we want the units to do, and then to get the sculpting done and things like that. So it's not like we can just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and then they're going to appear in Kings of War.
Yeah.
So these are the future units of, and I saw some Northern Alliance armies today made out of the plastics from Vanguard. They just got them down on the gaming table and off they've gone. People can pick it up and take it. That's wonderful, it's great. And I think, so what the next phase for us about Kings of War is going to be is about building out those stories. It's about layering up what we are, what it's about. Basileans are getting their hard plastics, they're coming out. The Night Stalker release was just a couple of months ago, brand new army. That started to roll out, that was on the gaming table, and increasingly so. We've got, in the room, we've got the Winged Hussar chaps, who are writing the novels for the Mantic universe. I think those of you that were here last year saw them. So, do you want to just give everyone a brief outline of what the release schedule is and what we're doing there?
So, for those of you who remember, I'm Vince Rossbaum, the publisher of the design of the hardest working mustache and publisher. For those of you who don't know this, we did publish